Okay, welcome to this webinar. I'm glad you made it here. And what I want to promise you before we get started is that this will be the most valuable event and the most impactful event for your business in this year. And I'll be sharing with you how property professionals are using LinkedIn to secure investment, to get investors, to get funding for their projects, you know, HMO, commercial project, residential project, and how they are using LinkedIn to get high network deals, high network to connect with high network people, right? And this is something that a lot of people will not share with you. And I'm just going all out here in this event. I just want you to just stick with me to the end. If there are times you have questions, drop it on the comments. I need this to be an engaging event. So this is a pre-recorded webinar, just to avoid internet fluctuations, any other issues, and yeah, it's going to be value packed. So let's get started. Now, the title of this webinar is how you, as a property professional, can learn how people are securing deals in under 7 days using LinkedIn. Now, this might sound unreal, but it's actually happening. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to show you for real how it's happening. So I have one question to ask you. How would your life change? How would your business change if you're able to build a brand that is influential and you're able to get more investors easily? And you just need to do this online. You don't really need a huge portfolio of clients. You don't really need to know a lot of people. You can start where you are right now. And if you can imagine this, like you're able to get investors easily. You have a project, you want to put something out there, and you're looking for funding. And all you need to do is just, with a click of a button, go on LinkedIn and have a few conversations, and you're able to get the funds you need. How would that change your business, right? So I'm sure this is something that's possible, is because I have seen this happen, and I've been able to help people actually do this. Now, let's move on. Who am I, and how am I so certain about this? So my name is Cyprian Sunday, and this is me on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile, and I've been in property space for about 2 years now. And how I started was basically, I started as a freelancer. I do digital marketing, website design, and that was my main goal. And I wanted to work with real estate agents. And during this time, I started reaching out to people, more of people based in the UK, realtors based in the UK, property professionals in the UK. And every time I asked a question, are you interested in website, getting something? There was always one question I always got back or one statement or comment I always got back. And that was, I'm looking for investors. I don't think I need a website now. I'm struggling. I really need investors. If you can help me get investors, that'll be much more beneficial to my business. And now I'm a problem solver, right? I love helping people. And instead of me to just sit back after hearing this comment over and over again, I started thinking, is it possible to get people investors, right? Is it possible to get people investors online, right? Because from conversations I've had, many people have tried networking events, many people have tried paying angel investors, home office, all these methods. It works for just a few amount of persons, right? Because for it to work for you, there are certain factors you need to meet. For example, trust. For example, another example is connection, people know you for a certain period of time. And, there are a lot of people that get funding, even if their project is not all that. So you can have the best project, you can have the best presentation, the best pitch deck. But if you don't have where to get funding, you're going to be stuck. And even if when you get funding, to get more funding to cover up cost and any other thing is an issue, it's going to affect you really, really bad. So I started thinking of how can I, help people I'm reaching out to get investors. And that was what, made me dive deep into the property world. And I started studying the methodologies of the top percent. If you really want to succeed, you have to follow the steps of those that have succeeded. So I checked on LinkedIn, did my research, and after I think years and months of in-depth research, learning, failing, sending multiple messages, after tons of conversation, I was able to craft a unique method that is proven to not just work for myself and my clients, but for other people that are on LinkedIn. And this is what I'm going to share with you guys today. And it works so amazingly. It's rapid, it's fast. It takes less amount of time than you think to implement. The main question is, or the main objective rather, is like everybody wants to grow and get more investors on LinkedIn. but only a few persons know how to effectively do this. And in any industry you want to think about, it's only the top 1% that are usually making most of the money. And there's a methodology, there's a secret they're using. And this is the secret I'm about to expose on this live webinar. I don't know if you're excited, but if you're excited, you can drop it on the comments. And just for you to note that those that are leaving comments, that leaving engaging comments, valuable, what they learn from this webinar on the comments, we have a special gift for them. And that gift is a template, the exact DM script we use to book investors meetings, and we'll be giving out to those people that are engaging on the comments. So make sure you're engaging on the comments. So like I said, I've done countless of meetings. I've spoke with a lot of property professionals, and after tons of meeting, I was able to come with a unique strategy that helps me get my clients results. And you can see from my profile, in terms of in marketing space, I'm one of the most followed person in the UK, and going to Dubai right now in property. I'm one of the most followed persons. I've done events ranging to over 200 plus people attending. I've done events on LinkedIn, over 100 people attending, in the hundreds. That's the kind of events I do, right? And all my events are value driven. So moving to what we have today, so I don't waste your time, because I'm trying my best to make this video as short as possible and as impactful as possible. But I do have some questions to ask you. So before we dive in, I want you to drop a comment if any of this is an issue. I want to know if you're the right person for this event. So if any of this is not an issue, this event is not for you. So don't waste your time here. So if you're having headaches when it comes to using LinkedIn, right? You're just on the platform, you really don't know what's working, you're just on the platform, and you're having headaches when it comes to navigating LinkedIn, drop a yes on the comments. So second question is, if you have no idea, right, on how to use LinkedIn, what you're doing on LinkedIn, like you just feel the platform is just for people that want to put out their CVs, people that want to, for freelancers like I myself, for business people, and it's not really for property, you can put yes in the comments. If you just feel LinkedIn is not really for that, but you're hearing LinkedIn, you have been hearing LinkedIn that is a go-to for getting investors, and you really don't know how to do it. And then that brings us to the third question. If you're struggling to find the right clients, the right investors on LinkedIn, let's say you have a bit of idea of how LinkedIn works, but you're really struggling to find the right clients or the right investors, put yes if this is a problem for you. And if you need more high network connections, let's say you're getting appointments, you're getting deals, but you need more high network connection, mutual funds, put yes in the comments. And if you want to hit your financial goals, you want to build a credible brand, you want authority and trust easily, you leverage it on LinkedIn, put yes on the comment. And my last question is, I think, which is the most important question, is if you need a predictable, and steady source of investor meetings, steady source of investors, having conversations with investors, if that is a huge bottleneck for your business, type yes in the comments. Type yes with the problem you have, and I'll respond later. But I feel this webinar will cover most of these questions, right? So if you have any of these problems, these are major problems for you, this webinar is going to answer all of that. So moving on. So the first question is, why LinkedIn? So we have to understand why this platform is valuable, and why we're using this platform. Because if we don't have the main understanding of this platform, right, we will not really be able to leverage and maximize it, because what you don't know is actually bigger than you. So you might assume that you know what LinkedIn is all about, but it might just be assumptions, it might be myths, not really the reality and facts of it. So now, why LinkedIn? The first reason is LinkedIn is a professional hub for networking, which is really obvious. So LinkedIn is the only social media platform designed for businesses, professionals, the corporate world, wealthy people, right? I'm not talking about Instagram where everybody's trying to live fake lives. I'm not talking about TikTok where it's all the fun and games. I'm not talking about Facebook where it's just family platform, or Twitter. Right? LinkedIn is built differently. It's designed for professionals, designed for businesses, designed for high level thinkers, right? So high valuable people gravitate usually towards LinkedIn, but most people don't know what LinkedIn is all about. I'm talking generally, it's not only just in property, right? And LinkedIn gives you that access to global markets. So there are over 200 countries that are based on LinkedIn, users from over 200 countries. They have billions of people online. And most of these people are business people. Most of these people have financial or high paying capacity. And LinkedIn allows you to connect with them, whether they're within your location or outside your location. So if you're in UK, you can get investors from Dubai, you can get investors from US, you can get investors from Australia, you can find people all around, not just your own environment, your own location. So that is the power of LinkedIn. It gives you the opportunity to tap into international markets, which is really important. Tapping into international markets for any business is really important. It allows you to go borderless, right? Because if you are not able to go borderless, everything affects your business. That is one key thing you need to focus on. Your property business can be location based, but your marketing has to be borderless. Your marketing has to be without restrictions. It makes you move freely, easily, and gets you the result you want faster. Now, some other reasons is credibility, authority, and branding. Since LinkedIn has a base whereby people trust the platform enough to do transactions worth millions of dollars, millions of pounds, it's already giving that atmosphere or environment to make high profile conversation, valuable, exclusive premium deals using the platform, right? There's already this environment of trust, right? So, but you need to know how to carve out yourself, carve a name for yourself in this environment and stand out. Because notwithstanding, it's a beautiful environment for trust for companies to meet, get employees, find CEOs, do investment, do deals. But there's still scammers on the platform, right? There's still scammers on the platform. Same way there's scammers in every industry. In property, there are scammers. In what I do, there are scammers, right? So how do you, carve out a name for yourself? We're going to talk about that in a second. And then number four is high value client acquisition, right? Like I said, unlike every other platform, LinkedIn has more serious minded people. They're already prepped up for a sale. They're looking for opportunities, right? I don't like using the word sale, but they're looking for opportunities. They're looking for people to pitch them opportunities, right? So some have money to invest, some are willing to be partners with you, some are willing to share a stake in your dream, right? It's all about presentation, it's all about packaging, it's all about, the right mindset, right? So me doing this whole webinar, right? And the setup I'm using, you can see the lights, the backgrounds, all presentation. It matters because if I'm not giving you this presentation, you won't believe what I'm saying. So I'm already creating that atmosphere for trust. So on LinkedIn, there's this atmosphere for trust. So it's really, really easy to get the deals, but you still need to know what you need to do to get the deals, right? There are key things you need to do to make you stand out, even in your industry. You have to have a goal of being the top 1%, right? That should be your goal, the top 1%. Don't care about being like every other person. Be the top 1%. And I'm going to show you the strategy of the top 1%. Now we're diving into the workshop. I don't know if you're excited, but I'm really, really excited. And in this workshop, I'll be using some series of case studies. And this is one from one of my clients, Christina. And Christina, this is a picture. So you can see her and her family. She's a supportive wife, a mother of three beautiful children, three kids, and she has a husband that works in construction, right? Is a trader. He works in construction. Together, they started a property project. They wanted to get, a huge property, commercial property. They were looking for investors, right? So it's the usual story, right? They had the space, they had the land, they were looking for investors, they had the dream, they had the idea, but they didn't have the funding. She tried a lot of stuff. So she spent 4 months trying to raise funds on LinkedIn. And when we had conversations, she told me that she went to networking events. She's new in the property space, right? She went to networking events. She tried to make connections. She was really shy, but she put herself out there and she made some conversations, right? But nothing really produced results, which is usually the case for most people, right? So they tell you to attend events, workshops, and other stuff, but they don't really say the truth, right? There are already people that they know will get deals. There are a lot of people that won't get deals, right? So there are key things you need to know about networking events, right? There are key ways you need to approach, but that's another conversation for another time, right? So she tried networking events. She tried running adverts on LinkedIn. She know ads really works, but she tried running it. She paid somebody to run ads for LinkedIn for her to get investors. That didn't work out because people don't know you, they don't trust you, you're not a brand. They're like, why would I invest in you, even if they see your advert, right? So there's a lot of things. She wasted a lot of time, money, and she went to angel investor networks, right? She joined groups. She paid about £500 monthly, and she spent 4 months doing all of this, and she didn't get any investor. So on those angel groups, what they told her was that, oh, she's from Romania, so you're from Romania, we don't trust you, I don't think we can invest in you, we're looking for people in the UK. And even people in the UK in those angel groups, they don't even get investors. So they're actually biased. They are selecting people, right? It's within their self that they rotate the investors. So you can see that it's a different ballgame when it comes to finding investors. So there are key things you try. It might work for you once, it might work for you twice, but it's not really predictable. It's all on luck, and you cannot really build a business all on luck. You need predictability. And thank God for online, thank God for the internet, and thank God for LinkedIn, right? So there are key things you need to do on LinkedIn, which I'll be sharing with you on how we used to help Christina do LinkedIn. So I'll start with the laws of LinkedIn, right? So in every platform, in every way to succeed, there are principles, laws, and systems that guide success, right? So there are four steps, really, four steps, four systems, four principles, whichever you call it, that governs the law of success on LinkedIn. And apart from Christine, I'll be showing you live people that are actually implementing these principles. But let's get started. So the first principle is or the first step is laying the right foundation, right? So there's this scripture that comes to my mind. What can the righteous do if the foundation is destroyed? So it's a Bible scripture. Now that is important because if you are not starting on the right ground, no matter what you're trying to build, you guys are in property, you understand the importance of foundation. No matter what you're trying to build, if it's not on the right platform, it's going to fall. So what is the right foundation? The right foundation is identifying practically who you work with, who is your ideal investor. So this was what we helped her able to discover was who are right investors. Now, what most people do the first time they enter LinkedIn is that they do this, right? You enter LinkedIn, you're trying to look for investors, and the first thing you do is go on investor groups. You just search for investors in UK, investors in Dubai, and you find groups and you join and you start posting. Start posting in all those groups. Now there are millions of people and thousands of posts in groups like that. There are millions of people, there are thousands of posts in groups like that, and those people are just a bunch of property professionals trying to sell to each other, right? Those groups are basically where your colleagues are. They are not where your investors are. Your investors are not property professionals, right? So why are you searching for property professional groups, right? Your investors are not property professionals. And let me show you an example. So this is a group, right? This is a group, and the group is UK Property Investment Group, and over 22,000 members. I'm sure it's more than that. Now it's 25,000 members. Actively, almost every single person here is trying to sell. Every single person is trying to pitch their property, their project. Every single person here is a property professional, right? Every single person, every single company posting here have investment deal and they are looking for investors, right? Your investors are not here, right? Your investors are in other platform. So first of all is identify where your investors are. And to give you a good example of this practically, I want to introduce you to a guy called Jack Adamson. Jack Adamson is a property professional. He does property deals. He has a portfolio, and this is it. And Jack got this really right, right? Jack got this really right, and Jack has been able to build a really good business for himself. He does, huge deals, huge projects. And let me show you one of the things Jack does. So what Jack do is that Jack goes on groups that are opposite of what you would usually do, right? So Jack went to a group called Health Medicine Physician and Doctor Dentist Group, and this group, right, it's a group for medical personnel, medical professions, right? So surgeons are there, dentists are there, doctors are there, and when you're looking for investors, depending on the kind of project you're handling, if the project needs, let's say, £50,000, for example, as an investment, right? And they are looking for investors, you find people that are able to, on average, afford or get paid set those kind of amounts, right? So let's say somebody makes 60K pounds a year and you're pitching them an investment of £50,000. That is almost all their salary, right? So what they can invest can be like £5,000, which is also huge for them. It's possible in their arena of income earning, right? So it's possible. So, but what you need to do is look for people that are making like 100K upwards. And one of the best industries for that is medicine. Very, very important. Surgeons, high skilled doctors are paid a lot of money, especially those that work in private hospitals. They are paid a lot of money. And many of them use LinkedIn for networking, many of them use LinkedIn for connection, for events, because that's their industry, right? So Jack was able to see this and maximize this. So in this community, right, in this group chat, there are over 231,000 doctors and medical personnel on this group. And they all just post about medicine, other stuff. But you see, Jack is different. Jack posts about investing in Scottish properties, and this is how he gets investors. This is one of the ways he gets investors. So the people that like this post are doctors, right? They are not property professionals, they are doctors. other than the other group whereby it's just property professionals just posting to themselves. So you need to do things the opposite of what people are doing in your platform, right? People are doing in industry rather. So you see the methodology. I don't know if this is exciting, but if this is open your eyes to how to navigate LinkedIn, this is just the way to go. This on its own is like what can get you the investment deals you want, right? So and Jack did something really good. He used a video, right? A video boosts trust. People can be able to see your face and work with you. It instantly boosts trust, right? So moving on, that is just one key. Identifying your ideal clients, that is the right foundation. Because if you don't know who you want to work with, you are not able to know their income level, their key characteristics, what they do, and how to find them on LinkedIn. You're not able to get your ideal clients. So I just showed you one example, right? So step two is profile optimization. It's really, really important you're able to do this. This is what we're able to do for Christina. So Christina was sending connection, right? She was sending connection requests, and people were not accepting it. So what we were able to do was that we redesigned our LinkedIn profile, make it real, and speak to our ideal audience. So what we were able to do was that change our LinkedIn profile to helping skilled workers and tradespeople secure financial freedom through property investment, and we focus on how many years of property investment knowledge she has, and our kind of personality, right? So our husband is a tradesperson. Tradespeople worked in property too, but many of them don't have investment. Many of them don't know how to make money work for themselves, right? Your job as a property professional is to make money work for people, right? So tradespeople is a good way for her to start. And there are trades companies, right? There are lots of them. So what we did was target CEOs of those companies and work with them, right? Those ones are high income earners. We're not talking about the laborers, the workers in the field. We're talking about the owners of businesses. So we craft out this profile for her, did it, redesign it, and that was one of the first key things that helped her land investor meetings in 7 days. So what we did then was build a value-driven conversation model or value-driven engaging template style for her. So one of the person that does this really well is George Bonds. So George Bonds has 4.5 million pounds in property, which is his personal portfolio. And you can see he has a good LinkedIn brand, very simple, build wealth through property, and he's looking for investors on LinkedIn. And how is he doing it is the same thing I'm talking about, branding, right? He's showing what is working, he's sharing what is working, he's just being real, but it's connecting to a set of people, right? So what George is doing really on LinkedIn, you see this add to connection, right? What George is doing on LinkedIn is just connecting with people that are not in property, people that are in other businesses. So he sent connection requests, and that is how he builds this list of followers, right? So this list of followers are not coming to just follow him. So in LinkedIn, there's what we call outbound and inbound marketing, right? So inbound is people that come to you when they see your post. Outbound is when you actively market yourself online. So George has a system of finding people and connecting with them, and in turn, those people now have a conversation with him and invest. But how you can send connection requests, but the main thing is how do you get people to reply your messages, right? So many people do it wrongly. Many people just add somebody, they feel like can invest in property, and they send them, oh, I'm having this project. We like to invest. We like to have a call. People don't really trust you that way, and the message just sounds all about money, right? It's like you need my money. Obviously, you need my money, but you need to have an approach. So the best approach is like when you approach a lady in a bar and you want to get a contact. How would you do that? If you're a man, or you're a lady, if you're a man, how would you do that? If you're a lady, you can think of how men have approached you. If you're a man, how would you approach a lady? It's basically through compliments, smile, and providing help. So if I want to get a lady's contact in a bar, what I would do is offer to buy a drink, to break in the ice, the barrier, and offer a beautiful compliment about her. Oh, I love your smile, and that's is a good base for a conversation. So how do you bring this principle that works really well with flirting with ladies into LinkedIn is by looking at the person's LinkedIn profile and maybe the industry rather, and creating a message for that industry. So what we did was for Christina was what we did here was like we messaged a guy named Izan. So he said, "Hi Izan, thank you so much for accepting my request." So this was me actually chatting with Izan in form of Christina, and I said, "Great to connect with you. I can see you're into electrical project management. Are you on LinkedIn to source for more jobs opportunities? just love to, or you just love the platform. So what we did was just ask a friendly question, and that prompts up a conversation. And during that conversation, the goal of engaging with people on LinkedIn is to get more conversation. It's through conversation you get appointments, right? So once you start a conversation, you are in, right? So once you have that conversation, just talk about what you do, and then say, within the industry, because you have to understand there's this saying: to be a friend of a man, you need to know how to speak his language. For in every industry or in every country, there's a particular lingua that's been spoken, and in every industry, there's a particular language. So in the electrical space, this guy is into electrical management, and what she just did, or what I did rather, was just speak about electrical project. And you can use AI to assist you with this. We just had a conversation, and I told him, "Oh, I have something for tradespeople. People that have companies, and it helps them make more money over time, so they don't really need to spend all their time going for looking for jobs." So what we did was just create a series of messages and offer free resources to this contact. So the resource you can offer is like a free PDF guide on property investing, or a short video on how to invest, or a case study you can do. And this will help people know more about your business and quickly get interested in what you have to offer. And just with that, we're able to book calls for her. So this was one of the calls we booked for her during that whole conversation, and she was really excited. So, practically, I've shown you people that are actually doing this stuff, and it actually works, right? It actually works. So the main thing is now automation. You have to automate every single part of your business. So once you're able to build the right foundation, which is the right LinkedIn profile, know your target audience, the kind of investors you want based on the kind of project and funding you need. What you need to do is now automate every single thing. So in automation, there are tools we use, right? So you can look for Sales Navigator is a LinkedIn tool. It's here, so you can try it for 1 month free. And what Sales Navigator does is that you can use Sales Navigator to find people, company CEOs, founders of companies, that are on LinkedIn and they're active. So I use this for my clients. What I do is just I build a list of about 100 or 150 targeted people within the space or industry that we know that this person can, have conversations around. And we just find the top people in that space, right? CEOs, founders, business owners. And once we get that list, we start messaging them. And the goal is to just book appointments, right? And we message them. We do it manually. We have team of VAs that do this manually, and we also have tools that we use, right? The automation tools for messaging on LinkedIn, and all of this is automated. So, and the last thing, what we do is that we have a landing page. We build a landing page, and this landing page is whereby we put your resource. It could be a video, it could be a PDF, it could be whatever, and you send people to this resource. That is after your meeting or before your meeting. And what this landing page does is that it helps you pre-qualify the people, pre-inform the people, and make them really qualified leads for investment. So on the meeting, they already have an idea of what you're trying to tell them. They're already ready to invest. They just need you to, they just need to know more about you and about your project. So that is it. So one thing I highly recommend is that you have 2 calls. So the first call is for introduction, right? So once you're able to book a call using this system, right? If you follow the system to the later, you're able to book a call. The first call is introduction call to know the person, know who you're talking with, and the next call is to, actually pitch your investment deal. It's not as if they are not aware of the investment deal; they're actually aware, but you want to actually be more interested in the person and knowing if it's the right investors for you, right? And then just to get to build rapport. So it bridges that trust gap, and it's more easier for you to, on the next call, have them to invest or make a commitment, to work with you. So if you follow this, I believe with everything I've taught in this webinar, you get investors very, very quick and very, very easy using LinkedIn. Now, if you need more hands-on help, you need, deeper help, you need somebody to walk you through this whole process and help you build this whole process, I have a program called LinkedIn Investor Magnet, and this is the page for the program. And our goal in LinkedIn Investor Magnet is to help you build a pipeline of investors that you're able to pull from anytime you need funding for any project. So basically, this helps you not to delay projects or lose any project ever again due to an empty investor pipeline. So it's like having, money in your account and more money coming in. And when you don't have money in your account, it's more harder to even get more money. So it's like a psychological thing, and it's actually a principle, right? So who has more will be given, and so who has little, even the least you have will be taken from you. So it's like a scriptural thing, and it's what we call the Matthew principle in business. So you need really to get a pool of investors that you can easily work with, because many people or a lot of persons I've spoken with have actually lost a lot of projects due to lack of fund, unexpected occurrences, and it's always lack of funds. And how can they recover from that? They're always looking for investors. They have a limited amount of time, and that is what has caused a lot of people to drop off from property. So you can fix that problem by building something on LinkedIn, and this LinkedIn Investor Magnet program is the ideal way for that. And in the LinkedIn Investor Magnet program, we walk you through step by step. So I have some case studies of people I've consulted for and helped, like Christina, for example, Krishna, and you see somebody, more persons at the end. So this program is more than consultation. It's a hands down do it with you program where I work with you. We are a group of 10, 20 persons, and our goal is just to get investors or build our brand that helps us get more investors and more opportunities to embark on more projects as we go on. So this program has three core sections, and the first section is building your LinkedIn brand. And this covers building your authority and position yourself as the right person for people to invest with, right? So it's more than just your LinkedIn profile design. It's actually understanding the ideal investors. So we'll build your ideal investor profile just like we did for Christina. Find out the kind of people that can invest in your project, what will get their attention, and we'll optimize your LinkedIn profile to speak to those people, right? To get their attention. And basically, this will also give you leads, right? People start messaging you. I'm interested in what you do. What do you have to offer? Let's have a discussion. Let's have a time. And basically, we'll do competitor research. Look for people that are doing something similar to what you're doing, and they're actually making it big. So the goal is to follow the top 1%, understand their systems and replicate it for you, right? So make it work for you. Now, section 2 is that we'll be building your investor funnel. And what this is a system that helps you attract, engage, and convert people into meetings, convert conversation rather into meetings. And you will learn how to build and create an investor list yourself, so you don't have to do it with us. We will help you create a simple, powerful funnel that helps you book investors. We help you craft a content that sparks curiosity and start conversations, because content is key. So apart from just building your profile, apart from reaching out to investors, you really need content to help convince people. You need to actually showcase your wins, and we have a way we can help you do that. Have a way we can help you see what's actually working in your market and how you can replicate that for yourself. And then we'll design DM templates, right? Something we'll redefine, redesign, rework on, that will help you book investor meetings, that will help you start conversation, that will lead to investments and all of that stuff. And then we'll help you build a lead magnet with using AI, like a short PDF on how to build wealth through property in Manchester, for example, right? That kind of PDF will be interesting to some persons. We will show you how to use AI to do that. And the third course section is automation and skill, because you need to gain time and freedom in everything. So we'll teach you how to automate your content, how to automate your outreach, and so you can focus on what really matters. And what's that? Your properties, managing investors, growing your relationship, and growing your portfolio. So this is the three main core things we'll be focusing on this 4 weeks program. So LinkedIn Investor Magnet is a 4 weeks program, and it's one of its kind. It's not something you ever see out there, right? So I'm giving you knowledge and years of research and execution and implementation in this 4 weeks program. Now, in order to make this more spicier and to help you get results faster, we're adding some bonuses worth over £1,000. And these bonuses are unique, and they will help you get results faster. So number one bonus is how to create a unique onboarding experience for investors. How investors will trust you moving on, and also recommend or refer more investors is the experience you create with them. And that is structure, how to communicate, how to give reports, how to update your investors, how to impress them, how to do one-time funders, how to gain long-term partners by turning one-time funders into long-term partners. And it's all experience, right? So you can think of any facility, any organization that giving you a wonderful experience and why you recommend them over again. It's really important you're able to create this feedback loop for your investors. This is what is going to attract more people into your business as you are growing as a brand. Secondly, we're going to give templates and branding resources. So what we do is that, like I said, we help you build DM templates from scratch, meeting templates, messaging templates. We also help you going to redesign your investor pitch deck. So if you have a poor design investor pitch deck, we also want to help you redesign it, because presentation and packaging really, really matters in this game. You're talking about money, so you need to present something really good. We're also going to help you with your LinkedIn content, design your messaging. So just to help you, build that right foundation for you. Another bonus is you're going to have an exclusive community where you meet other property professionals like you. You have conversations, collaborate on projects, share wins, get feedback, stay accountable with each other, have friends that have the same mindset and the same goals like you. And bonus four is a 30 minutes one-on-one strategy session with me. So we have one-on-one conversation on the meeting, and I get to find out what you are struggling with and what we can help you do moving in this program. So why this program is different from every other program out there is that it's a hands-on guided experience. It's a do-it-with-you program, and it's limited to a few persons. So basically, we give quality and personalized support to these persons. You have accountability partners. You are paired with somebody in the community whereby two of you work together as accountability partners to ensure that you're on track. And this program, like with everything I've shared with you, is proven to work for the top percent of property professionals worldwide, not just in UK, but in Dubai, worldwide. And this is using LinkedIn. So it's not just theory, it's actually a system that works. And before joining this program, you might be struggling with a lot of stuff. But what we guarantee is that you have a clear investor profile and strategy, full pipeline of qualified investors that you can work with, people that understand and trust your expertise, and how you can confidently choose the right investors. And so you can focus on every single thing you need. And you can go through this page, check out more testimonials, see if this program is for you. And at the current time of this program, we are looking for 10 participants, and the enrollment for this program is ending December 31st. We are currently in 2025. So if you're watching this video in 2026, the time for this will be changed. So this is a periodical program we'll be doing every quarter. So we'll be looking for just 10 or 20 participants to join this program. And for the webinar registrations, you have seen how many persons have registered. So this is something you should do. So now, what is the cost of this program? So the cost of this program at the current price is £350. So you can get this program for £350, and usually the original cost is £1,000, but this is just for 10 persons. So if you're interested, I believe this is fraction of what you gain through this program, because if you're able to learn everything from this program, you really don't need us ever again. You just have a system that works, and you're good to go, right? And then this program is also available for teams. If you have a team, you have a company, and you want your team to undergo training, so we have a structure for training teams. So if you have a team of 6, you can pay £1,299, and that is it. So if you have more than that, we can have a conversation on how to measure that and make that really affordable for your team. So it's a 4 weeks program for both teams and personal professionals that need it. And yeah, so if you're interested, click on the learn more button, enroll for the program. And what we guarantee is that you have a working investor funnel with at least 10 qualified investors, contact people that you can actually talk with, work with, and they're looking to invest in your project after this program. So that is what we're helping you build. So you have a system that works really well for you and helps you get results. So you can also watch Cecil's testimonial review from our coaching session, and any information you need, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. But I will employ you to click on this button, get the program, and get signed up instantly. So I'll see you in the program. Bye for now.